thing with me and content warnings is I think that they're great. I think that people who are aware of the fact that they are sensitive to certain subject have like a information resource that allows them to look that stuff up. But even though I have things that I am sensitive to, and like going beyond just the phobia that I am known for, when I go into something, I always have this sort of, I guess it's a little bit like an obsession of experiencing the movie the way that the author intended it. And if the author didn't put content warnings or anything that's giving a heads up of something that's going to happen, they didn't want me to know about that going in. So that's how I'm meant to experience it. And sometimes it backfires, but most of the times it's sort of, I'm looking for the intended experience, whatever that might be. And sometimes, you know, for example, like I don't like bells whatsoever. I don't sort of expect the world to cater to what I struggle with. It's more so that I gotta learn how to cope myself, because my safety and like mental well-being while experiencing media in any way, shape, or form shouldn't really be the responsibility of the author. Their only responsibility is to tell a compelling story. Whether or not I'm comfortable during that ride is entirely up to me and my self-discipline.
I never thought you could get more based. Oh. But I have the exact same opinion on these kind of things. Like, I have, you know, like you have church bells, I have stuff for me that, like, you know, gets me and stuff like that. But I completely agree that when you watch a film, it should be, or film, TV, whatever, it should be experienced in the way that the artist who created it intended it to be experienced. And for my money, that is always in a dark room with sound that envelops you, and from start to finish without pausing it. And I also agree that spoilers, and I'm very passionate about this, spoilers are a more amoral action than cold-blooded murder. Because if you think about it, right, if you spoil a movie, the person who hears that spoiler will never be able to experience that film or that work of art or whatever it is in its original form ever. It has been permanently altered for them. And art has the power to change a person's life, right? You know, it has the power to completely alter the course at which they live their life. And all it takes is you doing saying, oh yeah, this guy dies at the end, for that person to not have that experience. In my own sort of experiences, I think that there is beauty in an unhappy ending, because it can be truer to our real experiences. It can be truer to what a person is going through. And I think that it's dishonest to ask that an artist give us a happy ending when maybe their own experience and their own relation to that art that they're creating is not a happy experience. Maybe misery is a part of their life. Maybe agony is something they want us to experience as well. And being able to relate and express a feeling of upset, anger, sadness, pain to the people watching is just as powerful as providing escapism, because film and entertainment as a whole has provided nothing but escapism for a long time. Like, oh, you go to school, you work a job, you're upset, you know, you're tired, stressed, whatever. Here's something you turn your brain off to for a little while. That's valid too. But art is a way of expressing something, you know, anything that you're feeling, you can express through art in a infinite amount of ways. And if that is turned off or sort of diluted, then it loses its impact. And that artist who went through those experiences has less of a way of sharing those with us, the consumer. And I think that that's kind of a tragedy, you know? Art shouldn't be made. I don't think that in any capacity, unless it's a massive studio project that needs to make money, art does not need to be consumer friendly. Art is for the artist. Art is to be expressed by someone, and we, the consumer, are blessed and lucky to consume artwork in any capacity, even if it is the most inaccessible and ridiculous piece of art that we've ever seen. Even if it takes an immense amount of work to get all the way through, we are privileged and we are blessed to be able to even access it, because so much art...
You want to know what's beautiful about that kind of art? some of that art delves into some of the darkest depths of humanity that we all know to be true, real, and existence, but we don't want to acknowledge it because of how revolting and repulsive it is. But there are stories to be told there, and those stories deserve to exist. And the thing is with those stories is anybody can opt out of, I don't feel comfortable with this, I don't want to support this, I want to see less of this, I don't want this to exist. And you can contribute to that not existing by not supporting it, by not buying it. But the people that want that story to be told, that want to hear that narrative, they have the right to hear that narrative. They want to hear it for themselves and form their own opinion, regardless of what the subjects that the author decides to tackle. And I feel that that is just as valid as anything else, as long as it stays within the realms of non-reality.
Just when you thought he couldn't get more based, he just gets more and more based.